What do you expect from a game's opening track? In my opinion, it should set the tone for the game that lies ahead. Music is a big part of telling a story, and the music that opens up a game should give you a feeling for what you may encounter in that world or story. How do you feel when you hear this opening track? Take a minute to process how it makes you feel, or remember how it made you feel the first time you heard it. Tell me in the comments your answer, but don't hit send yet, there will be a few more questions for you in this video. What really stood out to me is the beginning of the track is so simple. It feels like you're going into your average RPG, and I think that's such an important piece, especially when going into a game like Undertale. While you're listening to this simple but beautiful melody, you're reading about the story, which is an important precursor to what you're about to experience in the game. Once Upon a Time supplements this story that's before you and evokes the feeling that you're truly learning about an important historical element in the game. Now, how did you feel after hearing the next section? Take another minute to process how it makes you feel, or remember how it made you feel the first time you heard it. Tell me in the comments your answer to this too. Now, there's a shift in tone. The music becomes more in depth as the story before us shifts into the present and sets us up for where we come in as the player. You get a sense that there's much more to the story as the music becomes more full. For me, it feels comforting and warm. It feels like this is going to be a world that's full of surprise and wonder, and it feels like a world where I would enjoy spending a lot of time. As we learn more about where we will pick up in the story, the music shifts once more into a lighter sequence similar to a track we'll hear soon, even though as a first-time player we wouldn't know it yet. On screen, we can visually see a bed of flowers. Later we'll be able to make that connection. Once Upon a Time evokes a really interesting feeling for me personally. It feels like a journey in itself, and I feel like it's exactly what Undertale itself does so well. There's so much more to it than what it seems. I think it's an iconic opening that sets the right tone for the entire game. Not to mention, one of the most important elements in my opinion is that the introduction of the main leitmotif in the game happens in this song, and we'll hear that countless times throughout the game. Once Upon a Time and its leitmotif are extremely powerful storytelling tools, and we'll talk more about them in future videos. But its use here is absolutely perfect for setting the tone for the rest of the game, where we're going to hear a lot more of it. With the ending being so similar to Your Best Friend, we're also set up perfectly for what's about to happen next. One last thing I want to mention is its use in the Undertale release trailer. A short modified rendition of Once Upon a Time is used in the trailer, and it also evokes emotion there. It starts off similar to the track in-game, but as we walk through the door, the music gets lighter. It creates a feeling of suspense and makes you feel like you don't quite know what you're walking into, but it fits so perfectly with the introduction of this game and what you see on screen next. Once Upon a Time evokes so much feeling before you even get a chance to dive into the underground, and sets the right tone for the world and story as a whole. It's a track that I really love and that sits high on my tier list. For me, it does what it needs to very well. It effectively opens the game and creates the right emotions while living on throughout the rest of the game, almost as if to say, don't forget. Go ahead and submit that comment now. Tell me how Once Upon a Time makes you feel and where it ranks on your list. Stay tuned for the next video where we'll dive into the first track of Deltarune Chapter 1, called Another Hymn. Thanks so much for watching.